All right, let's talk about percent change. Let me make sure you can see all this. Okay. Percent change is part of proportional relationships, but I want to break down what percent change is because this one can get a little confusing and I want you to really understand the concept. So when you have a percent, we're looking for the percent. So remember percent and change. Change is when something is different than it used to be. So think about even you. You've probably changed from 6th grade to 7th grade. You might have grown a couple inches. You might have gotten more tan over the summer or gotten more freckles. You might have braces that you got over the summer. You've changed. It means that you've gone through something that makes you different. Well, in math, we can actually look and see what percent did you change, right? So we usually use this with our bank account because we really want our bank account to change, right? We want it to hopefully change for the better, to increase, but sometimes our bank account can decrease. So let me show you an example of percent change. Let's say in Miss Schmidt's bank account, she had started with $50. But I want my bank account to go up. I want to have more money. So I really worked hard this summer and I saved money. I tried not to spend as much. And by the end of the summer, I had $300 in my bank account. I can use percent change to figure out what percentage did my bank account grow or increase. So our words, our skeleton looks like this. We have change over the original equals percent over 100. So the main difference with this type of proportion problem is this part right here, this change. This change, you're going to have to subtract to get. You're going to have to subtract the bigger number from the smaller number because you're trying to see how much did it change. You're not going to put either of those numbers in here. You're going to put the difference between those two numbers. So 300 minus 50 is 250. That is my change. So if I was going to solve this problem, I would put 250 is the change my bank account went through. It went from 50 to 300. Now the original was 50. That's how much was originally in there. Sometimes students think the original has to be a bigger number. It doesn't. The original was 50. That's how much I started with. And then the change was 250. I don't know my percentage. That's what I want to know, is to what percentage did my bank account increase or grow. And I put 100 there because I know that percent will go over 100. I'm going to cross multiply and divide, and when I do that in my calculator, I get 500. What that 500 means is that my bank account grew by 500%. 500%. So here's what you need to remember with percent change. Change over original equals percent over 100. Change comes from subtraction. You're going to be subtracting. An increase in something means it went up. So if my bank account went from $50 to $300, there was an increase. A decrease is when something goes down. So if my bank account started at 150, but I ended at 75, there's been a decrease. So these are the basics for percent change. If you can just remember to find your change by subtracting, you will be golden because then you can just do your cross multiply and divide and solve your proportion.